Hello friends, my name is Alex Korekis and I want to welcome you to the Finding Lost Civilization series. Now one of the fascinating things as Europeans came out here to the Americas and settled out west is that they often used the same pathways and trails that had been developed by Native Americans. They did so because these trails were the safest and quickest route between points A and B. Now today we'll be trekking along one of these routes. It's actually a very large highway divider, 12 acres in size. Now this route today is known as Highway 156 as it joins Highway 101 north in the state of California between the counties of Monterey and San Benito. Now one of the fascinating things about our journey is the places we go and the people we meet along the way. And surprisingly, out of the middle of nowhere, a four-legged friend joined me on this trek. But I tell you, the most fascinating thing is the mystery that I uncovered at this site, and I hope that you can help me solve it. Anyways, it's going to be an interesting trek, and I invite you to come with me. Well, friends, our journey begins. I'm facing approximately north here in this highway divider, and you probably can hear the highway noise. And so to my right over here, we have the northbound lane, and to the left over here, we'll have the southbound lane. So we continue ahead, and look at this. I see a dog directly in front of us. I tell you, I think this will be an interesting journey. Here's another view of Highway 156, and if you go to the left, you can see a large boulder right there, kind of in the center of the frame. Now that boulder was always marked by kids graduating from high school, and the highway department would always paint over it. And so that boulder always drew me to it, and so today I'm here. Below me, my friend Joel found a large boulder, and I can tell that there's several mortars there. He's clearing the area of fallen leaves, duff, and we'll take a look at those. I tell you, this is really fantastic. Well, I'm walking slowly down this hill, and so as we come upon this boulder, we find something that's been hiding in plain sight for hundreds of years. Now this boulder was probably here thousands of years, and used by the natives, because look at what we have in front of us. This large boulder contains about a dozen mortars. Now, there's probably double that amount. But if you look directly ahead of me over here, this is a poison oak tree. This poison oak tree covers about a fourth of this boulder. Now, when I look down in there, I can see other potential mortars. But friends, we can't go in there. That poison oak can be very dangerous to a person's health. But anyways, look at this. Here's a mortar right over here. Here's another one over here. There's one right there. And let's walk over here. Here's another mortar right here. Right here is a mortar. And right there is a mortar. Now there's a very large mortar right here, and it has a channel coming out right here. Look at this. And it goes down in here. And let's see what I can see right over here. Well, look at this. Right over here, this is a potential small mortar, or what we would call an anvil. There's another one right there. There's another one right there. So there's probably other features to this boulder that we basically can't see because of the poison oak. But I tell you, this is really fantastic, you know. Look at this right here. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to continue our journey. We're going to work our way downhill over here, and then work our way to the boulder that's located directly. Let's see if we can see it from here. There it is. You can see it just up under the branch of this oak tree. That's where we're going right now. So again, there's the boulder that we're going to trek to, and I'm going to turn around over here And this is the large boulder that we just came off of. So let's continue this journey. It's quite exciting. So as I'm working my way towards that boulder directly in front of us, I noticed this over here as I'm working my way to it. This here is a drainage. In other words, water flowed here at one time. This is probably a natural stream. And this is why the mortar station was right over there. You know, to process acorn, you needed to leach it, and you needed water to leach it to take out the tannins so that the acorn mush, the crushed acorn, would be fit to eat. So anyways, what we're going to do is go down into this dry creek bed and work our way back up to that stone. Well, friends, as I'm working my way to that boulder, I'm under this canopy of 3 oak trees. I tell you, it's beautiful. Look at this over here. The branches go down to the ground, almost forming a barrier. You could have a little house here and nobody would ever know. But one fascinating thing, as I was looking at this oak tree, looking up, down, and around, I saw this directly ahead of us. That's a nest. That's the home to the California rat. Now, there's nothing to be scared of. They don't attack people. They live a solitary life, and they want to be left alone out here in the wilds, just like we do. So anyways, what I'm going to do, right over here, I see a portal through these branches. Look at this over here. So I'm going to part the way over here, okay, slowly. And with my walking stick right over here, I'm going to push it to the side, and this is our doorway out of the oak tree grove or canopy. So here we are. And there's this large boulder that has always fascinated me. It drew me here. This is why I'm here, because of that boulder. I wasn't aware that there was actually a native site here, but I was always suspecting that there would be. But look at this over here. This is completely fascinating. There are a series of steps carved into this boulder. Look at that. I'm facing into the sun, and hopefully you can see it, but there you go. Steps all the way to the top. As we look at this giant monolithic boulder, we ask ourselves, who carved the steps into the boulder? Was it the local natives, or was it the Europeans who came afterwards? I'll tell you, it's somewhat of a mystery at this point, because these types of steps are often found in the American Southwest, not necessarily here in California. Anyways, before we continue any further, let's examine the rest of this boulder so we can get some kind of context to what we're looking at. Now, my experience in the past when I've come across these great monolithic boulders that have a flat-facing wall is oftentimes we'll find symbols. We'll find the cupule symbol, and we'll find some mortars. The mortars were worked by the women of the village to process the acorn, and so they often left symbols behind at their workstations. Oh my goodness, look at this right here. In this narrow pathway, what we're seeing in front of us are petroglyphs. These are known as cupules. Now, one of the things about cupules, their actual meaning has been lost in time, but there is some indications that they could have been used as a fertility symbol. Look at this right here. A cupule is a rounded area, okay, right over here. Look at this over here. And then this up here. And there seems to be a pattern. In other words, this doesn't appear to be random. Look at this here. There's one right here. There's another one here. Okay, you're seeing the pattern. There's another one here. Okay, there's a degraded one over here. Another one over here. Another one over here. And let me get real close one over here. Now they continue, okay? I see one right here, another one right here, and another one right here, 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 here. Look at that. This is a pattern. This is not a natural occurrence. They were placed here by the ancients. As I said, this is a petroglyph. A petroglyph is some kind of etching into the stone. There you go. Look at this. Well, based on finding these over here, I would say that we're going to come across some mortars. Okay, look at this over here. Now these over here, look at this. Now these look like they have been actually formed by man. Look at this. This looks like a drilling rod right here. Now if you look at the boulder and the pattern that I mentioned right over here, it doesn't seem that it's naturally occurring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other side of this boulder right over here. What we're going to do is see if there's a difference. Now we're passing this spot because it's full of lichen and plant material right over here, so you can't see what's behind that. But let me turn around right over here to where the sun is. Now, you can see the boulder over here is quite rough. It's a soft boulder, okay? A sandstone, you can see parts coming out over here. But if you look at the boulder over here, there's no pattern like we saw. Now, you can see small indentations over here, like for example here, but they're random. There's no pattern over here. There's no pattern. There you go. So what we're going to do is go back to that copule side and you let me know what you think. In my mind's eye, I do see a pattern. Anyways, let's go over here. And there you go. You see this here? This is the pattern that I'm talking about. It's not natural. It's not natural occurring. Look at this right here. Anyways, my sensing is that we're going to find some mortars up here. Well, friends, there we have it, right in front of us. We see a series of mortars right over here. I see one here, let's see, second one here, a third one right there, and a fourth right over here. Now right over here looks like what I'll call the anvil. So this is where the acorn right there was broken open before it was put into the mortar right here to crush. I tell you, this is quite fascinating. I tell you, one of the interesting things on these journeys is the people you meet and the friends you make. Look at that right over there. I tell you, looks like I have a friend for life. Let's see if she'll come to me. Come here. Yeah, look at that. Okay. She jumped right up on me. I'll tell you, this is what a loving dog, you know. You know, it's a pit bull, but I tell you, very mellow. And so, anyways, let's continue our journey with our newfound friend. Well, directly ahead of us, right over there, is the boulder that we just saw. And this here is a little valley, so to speak, you know, behind the boulder. And right over here, directly to my front, is that large boulder that contained the mortars that we found in the beginning. Very beautiful, large oak tree. And there's our newfound friend directly in front of us, exploring with us. But my goodness, look at this. I think I see another mortar. Well, let's go to it and examine it. There you have it. You see that right there? So Let me clear it up a little bit. Okay, there you go. Look at that. Oh, there's my friend again. I tell you, nothing like having a companion on these journeys. Okay, can you please get out of the way? Come on, come here. Okay, thank you. So, right over here, I would say that's a mortar. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I tell you, she really wants to play and have some lovings. Okay, there you go. So back to the mortar right over here. Boy, I can't get rid of her. Well, friends, there should be no doubt in our minds that we've encountered a Native American site. We found 2 milling stations and these wonderful petroglyphs known as cupules. Now, the Native American tribe that lived here in this area, which is San Benito County, were known as the Amah Mutsun. Well, friends, as to the question of who actually carved those steps into this giant monolithic boulder, I think it's still somewhat of a mystery. However, what I'd like to do is share with you a journey that I took several years ago to Arizona into a place called Canyon de Chelly, where my Navajo guide took me to a similar series of steps carved into a cliff face. Now, in the American Southwest, these type of steps are known as Moki steps. Anyways, let me share with you what I encountered at that site. Friends, before us we have some ancient Anasazi footholds. These are probably 4,000 years old, and they go up this canyon wall. So let's take this journey together. Hopefully, I can make it without falling.
There's another handhold here, see? Then people just start walking up along the side. Like
wow.
That, see? Handholds and footholds.
Okay. Friends, what we have here, this is a foothold right here.
Yeah.
But this right here is a handhold.
Yeah.
So what you do is you grab a hold like this, and then you step up in here. Okay.
There's another one right here, see? Right here, you grab it, see? You're coming down, you grab it here, see? And you come down, see?
Yes, beautiful. Okay.
Person.
Okay.
These people that live in the canyons are my predecessors and my ancestors. I still keep their cultures alive today. I have Spanish culture, I have European culture, Mexican culture, Navajo culture, Zuni culture, and Pueblo cultures coming from Mesa Verde, Chaco Canyon, Skunk Valley, Kayenta. I know all those cultures today, which I have to take care of.
Well, friends, after I left the site and in an effort to determine who actually carved those steps into this giant monolithic boulder, I conducted some research. Interestingly, I found an article dated from 1931 wherein a California highway engineer described the construction of a new road right through the site we've just visited. He called this giant monolithic boulder the Pine Gate Rock. The article went on to say that highway robbers carved the steps into this large boulder so that they could climb to the very top, and from this position they could see unsuspecting travelers along the roadway. Now, aside from that what I'll call anecdotal information in this 1931 article, I could find no other reference to highway robberies right here at this site. So, to me, it's still a mystery. Did the natives carve those steps into that boulder, or were they highway robbers that did it? Hopefully, someone watching this film can shed some additional light to this mystery. And so I invite you to send me a text and let me know if you have any information.
What is the explanation? Who knows?